Welcome everyone to the penultimate meeting of the 2014 FF2M season. We are here at the world famous Autodromo Nazionale di Monza circuit, right on the outskirts of Milan in Italy, for what will be the fourth to final race of the season, as we are here for the feature race here at Monza. I'm your commentator again, Joseph Wellows, back after returning at Spa, and today it could be D-Day for FF2M, as Thomas Gonzalez has a golden opportunity to wrap up the title here today at the feature race here at Monza. He's got a 30-point cushion ahead of both Stoffel Vandoorne and Charles Pic, both of which who are tied for second place in the championship, and even in fact both Vandoorne and Gasly won last time out at Spa. Vandoorne winning the feature race in front of his home fans, and Pierre Gasly winning the sprint race for OLM Racing. In that feature race, of course, we did have that huge accident between Fabio Lima and Esteban Ocon. Thankfully those two are okay, but they had some unfinished business after contact again at that corner in the sprint race. But here is a layout of the track. We're using the modern day layout of Monza. Obviously I wouldn't expect it to be the modern day variant of Monza with the advertising boardings or whatever, but it is the modern day layout. We will be doing 30 laps for the feature race and 12 laps for the sprint race. Last season it was won by Kevin Magnussen, who of course is now in FF1M driving for FJR, and there are actually a few drivers this year in FF2M who will be making the step up to FF1M in 2014. We'll hopefully talk about that during the course of the feature race. I should say 2015 actually, not 2014. But anyway, here is the grid then for today's feature race here at Monza. Stoffel Vandoorne takes a very crucial pole position, meaning he takes 2 bonus points for pole position. He now finds himself 28 points behind Thomas Gonzalez, with Cooper Lee in second. Thomas Gonzalez lines up in third, with Charles Pic in fourth. Fabio Lima will start in fifth, with Max Verstappen in sixth. Gencho Chi in the AJ will start in seventh, with Felipe Nasr in eighth. Antonio Felix da Costa, who'll be moving up to FF1M next season, is in ninth, with Esteban Ocon in 10th. Marcus Ericsson starts 11th with Isuki Yoshida, another man who will be making the step up to FF1M in 12th, with Sergei Sirotkin in 13th, Daniel Kvyat 14th, Alexander Rossi 15th, Max Chilton 16th, Nicholas Latifi 17th, Will Stevens will start in 18th, with Welshman Benjamin Pryor in 19th, Naoki Yamamoto will start in 20th, and on the back row of the grid we have Pascal Wehrlein for Shake and Bake, and surprise surprise, the man who won the sprint race at Spa last time out, Pierre Gasly, starts 22nd and last, 1.6 seconds off the pace. I think I accidentally called Gasly a championship contender a little bit earlier on there when we were looking at the results of Spa. I do apologise for that, but we're now on the grid here at Monza. The 5 lights are on, and we are underway for the feature race here at Monza. Is it going to be D-Day for FF2M today? It seems to be a good start from Vandoorne, who's trying to get away from Lee as they make their way down towards the first chicane. This is where a lot of carnage have happened over the last few years. Is that going to happen again? Cooper Lee trying to go all the way around the side. There's contact from behind Gonzalez, and Vandoorne's around. He's clipped Lee, and that's going to give Gonzalez the lead, and that is crucial for the championship, because if it stays like that, Gonzalez will win the championship at this point in time, as they make their way around the Curva Grande for the first time today, as they make their way down towards the chicane. Felipe Nasr in second position, but now here comes Pic trying to get into the back in the championship fight. He can, he gets up into second place. Maybe a bit of team orders there. Vandoorne has dropped to 7th thanks to that contact at the start as they make their way through the second chicane. Everybody getting around cleanly, no damage apart from that first chicane with Vandoorne and Lee, of course. But Gonzalez leads the race, and that is very, very crucial indeed right now in this race as they make their way down towards the Ascari chicane now then, because I believe if it stays like this, Gonzalez will win the championship on a countback as they now make their way down towards the Ascari chicane. There's contact between Lima and Verstappen, I believe that is, and or is that the Costa? No, it's Verstappen. Lima and Verstappen have made contact at Ascari, and they're both off, and they're now going to be spared to the back of the pack as Gonzalez leads the way at the end of lap 1 of 30 here in the feature race as they make their way down towards the first chicane on the racetrack now then, as Mito got side by side action. Here comes Ocon on the inside of Felipe Nasr. Can he take third place from the Brazilian? Down the inside he goes. Is it going to be the move done for Esteban Ocon? And, well, it was, but he outbraked himself, and Nasr takes back the third place. There's more contact at the back. It seems that Cooper Lee's got himself into more bother as he's made contact with Marcus Ericsson there, and he's holding up a huge traffic jam at the first chicane there. Everybody just trying to get around the pink BWT car as best as they can. Some people people staying stationary. Even Pierre Gasly has got himself stationary there. And, well, one of the big losers there, that looks like Alexander Rossi might have been a big loser out of all that. As meantime, we now focus our attention back to the battle for third place between Ocon and Nasr now. They're going to make their way down towards the Sky Chicane. Will Ocon try again? Meantime, in the background, his teammate Van Dorn is attacking Da Costa for 5th place. Van Dorn trying to have a look at the Portuguese driver if he can, but he can't make the move stick. Da Costa fending off for the moment now then, as they make their way through Ascari now then for the second time today. But now, Van Dorn's got a good chance to get him into Parabolica now then. Is Van Dorn going to get up into 5th? As meantime in front, Ocon's on the inside of Nasr, and Ocon takes 3rd as his teammate Van Dorn, the man who will be driving for Willows in FF2M next season, moves up into 5th place as Gonzalez sets the fastest lap of the race. That is very crucial because that will give him the championship ahead of Pick. Pick is on 8 points, Gonzalez now on 13, and with Van Dorn down in 6th, Gonzalez will win the championship if it stays like this at the moment as they make their way through the first chicane now then on the track. And Van Dorn in 5th. Ocon has just lost the place there again to Nasr. So it seems those two are still swapping places for 3rd position. But now, because Van Dorn's now broke free from Da Costa, they may have him to deal with. As now Ericsson is on the inside of, I believe that's Gencho Chi in the AJ car. And that's P10 for Marcus Ericsson. As meantime, Latifi gets by on one of the STV racing cars there. So Latifi making his way up through the field. I think that might be Max Chilton he's got by there. As meantime, Verline now, and it was actually Verline he actually overtook there. No, sorry, I'm getting confused with the two BWT cars. Meantime, Verline and Latifi now side by side. Verline just able to fend off from Latifi at this point in time. There was more side by side action towards the back there. I think that might have been Benjamin Pryor fighting with another car there. I couldn't quite tell which one, but here comes Fabio Lima, who's on a comeback now. He's currently 14th position after the contact with Verstappen a little bit earlier on. As Latifi there just chopping right in front there, preventing Lima from getting through there into that second chicane. There's now Chilton on the inside of this contact there. Looks like the other Lavazza car has got himself involved in more contact there. As now we make our way down towards Parabolica. Gonzalez with another fastest lap of the race. He is flying out in front at the moment. As now down the inside goes Lima, and that's P13 for the Swiss driver. The FF2M Asia champion is through, passing Latifi as Cooper Lee now takes the fastest lap away from Thomas Gonzalez now then. So Gonzalez back on 12. As now Latifi now then on the inside of Fabio Lima, trying to get the position back off the Swiss driver. Can the Canadian do it? And yes, he can. Latifi finding himself back up into 13th position. As now, one of the STV racing cars is right there for the taking. And still side by side, Lima now back on the inside of Latifi. And Lima gets the position back on lap 6 of the race. These two, just like with Nasr and Ocon, swapping places all the time right now as they make their way through Curva Grande. Now, back to this battle for 3rd. Speaking of which, between Nasr and Ocon. Can Ocon finally get 3rd position off the Brazilian now then? It's slipstream galore here at Monza. As now Ocon on the inside of Nasr. Can he get the move done this time round into Parabolica down the inside? And he takes 3rd this time, but will Nasr try and get him on the pit straight? As it looked like in the background there, Van Dorn was defending a little bit from Da Costa. As Gonzalez takes the fastest lap back there from Cooper Lee. As now, again, Nasr switches to the inside. Will he get the position back down into the first chicane? As now Da Costa goes to the inside of Stoffel Van Dorn. As the Willows is again having to fend off now, heading towards the first chicane now then. Can Nasr get the move done? And yes, he can. That's 3rd place again for Nasr. As Van Dorn just able to fend off there from Da Costa. Da Costa wasn't able to get the move done there on the Belgian. As now Ocon again probably getting a little bit frustrated now that he's been stuck behind Nasr all this time. As now we look at the battle for 5th between Van Dorn and Da Costa now. Then Da Costa having a look through Parabolica. Can he get Van Dorn now then into the Parabolica? Into Parabolica now, then can Da Costa take 5th? I think he has done the move, and he has done. Up into 5th place he goes, but can Van Dorn get him back on the pit straight like Nasr has done with Ocon several times during this race now then? Heading down the straight, Van Dorn looking to the inside. It is going to be the move done for the Belgian again as he tries to get alongside the Portuguese driver. They've got to be careful as well because both Lee and Yoshida are starting to close in on him in the background. Can Van Dorn get later on the brakes than Da Costa? And yes, he can. He retakes 5th place from the Portuguese driver as Ocon is again back on the prow of Felipe Nasr in front, and now Lee finds himself in that battle for 5th position. As now we go into the Sky Chicane. Ericsson on the back, and there's contact there. There's contact between him and Kvyat, I believe that was. Ericsson has gone a while. Kvyat has gone into the gravel, and well, Marcus Ericsson, who's already been involved in an incident a little bit earlier on, holding up a traffic jam at that first chicane, has now got himself in a little bit more of a spot of bother. As now, Ocon now then on the back of NASA. Can he get him this time? Perhaps this time into the Ascari chicane, rather than trying down at Parabolica. NASA closing the door there. He sensed that Ocon was ready to attack there, and the yellow flags are still out there, I believe. But I don't know if the marshals are still out there for the sake of it, because I can't see Ericsson's car there. But anyway, heading down towards Parabolica. As you can see in the background, we've got a freeway scrap for fifth still going on. There's Ocon again on the inside of NASA, but I'm not going to hold my breath on this one, because I expect NASA to probably get by on the pit straight. As Ocon takes third as Costa tried to have a look at Van Dorn, but Van Dorn going defensive through Parabolica. That's allowing Lee to close up a little bit more. The Australian trying to get himself back in that fight. Is NASA back on the inside of Ocon? That's the question, and he is. Is NASA going to retake third position again from Esteban Ocon as they go side by side into the first chicane, as NASA in fact is pitting this lap as Costa's got fifth from Van Dorn, or has he? Van Dorn's trying to get back on the inside. They go side by side through that first chicane. Van Dorn trying to hang it around the outside, but Da Costa has finally got the move done, and up into fifth place goes the Portuguese driver. NASA gets back up to third, but instead he's pitting this lap. And look at Cooper Lee, who's also pitting this lap. He goes around the outside of Van Dorn through Curva Grande. What a move from the Australian. The two guys who made contact on that one, and Cooper Lee this time gets a clean move done on Stoffel Van Dorn and gets up into sixth place as his teammate Pierre Gasly has now come into the pits himself. He's the first driver to pit during the mandatory pit stop stage, as meantime now looks like Van Dorn's trying to get back on Lee, and they make contact again, and Cooper Lee is over. Cooper Lee has had a huge accident at Ascari, and he is out of the race. Van Dorn continues on, but that's surely costly again for Van Dorn's championship, and that is a huge accident for Cooper Lee, and he is out of the races. Now meantime, Benjamin Pryor now trying to get himself into the top 10 for STV Racing. Down the inside he goes, and I believe that's Felipe Nasr who's just come out of the pits, and that's P10 for Benjamin Pryor. So NASA is getting swarmed up by everybody here just coming out of the pits. Now Latifi's going to try and get by on him, and he does so. Latifi gets by, and Will Verline also get through as well, as they make their way through the second Lesmo. And well, this is not good for NASA, who's only just come out of the pits, and it is Felipe Nasr. This is going to help out Ocon massively if he's getting caught up in all this traffic. Now Verline fancies his chances, but NASA trying to get back on Latifi, but now he's opened the door for Verline. Can Verline try and hang it around the outside? No, he can't. Very close to contact. Verline goes wide and loses momentum as a result, and it puts in prey to Benjamin Pryor. A very quick stop there from the Willows Mechanics. Ocon a 4.7 second stop. Now, can he get himself in front of NASA? That is the question. Where is NASA on the track? And I believe he has done. Yes, I think he has. Yes, he's rejoined in fifth. He's way ahead of Felipe Nasr, and he's finally broke clear of the Brazilian. He rejoins just in front of Fabio Lima. And, well, that's that really. So you can tell how much time Nasr has lost from all that traffic. And Ocon now way ahead of him. But meantime, it looks like he might have the same issues as what Nasr's having, because it's very clear the cold tyres definitely having an effect around here. As now Lima, teammate to Gonzalez, now on the inside of Ocon. Is he going to take fifth from him now? Then as Ocon tries to warm up his tyres, and he's through into fifth position now. Then Ocon's now at prey from Gencho Chi. Will Chi now get him into the first Lesmo? He's on the inside. Is Chi going to get him moved on Ocon? No, Ocon fends him off there through the first Lesmo on the track now then, as they make their way through the second Lesmo. Benjamin Pryor currently lying in eighth, but of course he's still yet to make a pit stop at this point. And now look at this. It looks like Chi has already got past Ocon, and now Pryor fancies his chance on Ocon, and he does. The cold tyres are still not working well for Ocon. And Pryor has got up to 7th, and now here comes Da Costa, who was battling with Van Dorn, but now that Van Dorn's had his problems, he's now off to try and chase down Ocon for what could be a potential podium place. Da Costa now on the inside of Ocon. I believe Da Costa has already pitted. Da Costa on the inside of Ocon. Is he going to get the move done? And yes, he is. Up into 8th place goes Antonio Felix Da Costa. And so that's job done for him as far as he is concerned now then, as they make their way through Curva Grande now then for the 14th time today. At the moment, as things stand, with Gonzalez leading the race, and speaking of which, he's coming into the pits this lap, but at the moment, if the result stays like this, Gonzalez will win the championship at this point in time, as Thomas Gonzalez now then comes into the pits now then for his mandatory pit stop. Let's see how quick the mechanics are going to be on his car. He's the first garage along. I'm not sure if In fact, yes, Pick is also in the pits as well, so he's joining him on the same lap. Van Dorn, I think he's staying out for an extra lap, but of course he needs to pit. A disastrous day for the Belgian after taking pole position, and it looks like it's going to be championship over, not just for him, but also for Charles Pick, who is currently being served in the pits. Gonzalez rejoined, and he's actually still in the lead. He was actually a long way ahead of Van Dorn, so I kind of got that wrong there. Gonzalez rejoins, still in the lead. It's all looking good for the Argentine, the man who will be driving for Tornado next season, alongside Fernando Alonso, of course, who will be moving over from Willows to Tornado, and he will be moving over to FF1M next season with Tornado, along with this man as well, Stoffel Van Dorn, who'll be going to Willows next season in FF1M. He's just done his mandatory pit stop, but he drops way down the order. 5.2 seconds is the pit stop. He rejoins in 9th place behind Max Verstappen, who's also trying to make his way back through the field after contact earlier on in the race, as they make their way out of that first chicane now then, and in towards the Curva Grande corner. And through the Curva Grande we go, and Van Dorn could try and chase after Verstappen if he can as soon as he gets his tyres warmed up, but he won't need to because Verstappen has just come out of the pits now then himself. Will Stevens also in the pits as well, and in fact we're looking at someone else here. That is, I think that's Gencho Chi who's just coming to the pits as Lima goes underneath him, and Lima goes straight on, but I think he's just going to keep the place, and he does. He holds on to the point, but can Gencho Chi possibly try and get him around the outside of the Curva Grande? We saw that Cooper Lee was able to do it a little bit earlier on. Can he do the same? Gencho Chi now then trying to go all the way around the outside of Curva Grande. This will turn into the inside, into the second chicane. Is Gencho Chi going to get that final points place off Lima? And yes, he can. Back up to 8th place goes the Chinese driver, as we just have 10 and a bit laps to go. As now Pryor trying to take advantage as well. Can he take P9 from the Swiss driver into the first Lesmo? No, he can't, as Lima just able to hold on there in this battle for 9th place. The Welshman doing everything he can to get by on Fabio Lima as they make their way down towards the Ascari chicane. Is this going to be the move done for the Welshman, as he's now looking to the inside? Will Lima go defensive? He's not going defensive. Pryor on the inside. This should be an easy move for the Welshman, and it is. Up into 9th place goes Benjamin Pryor in the STV racing car. In fact, Lima going a bit wide there at the entrance of Ascari. That's cost him a lot of momentum and has now put in prey to Daniel Kvyat, who's trying to make a comeback after contact he had a little bit earlier on in the race. As now Kvyat on the inside into Parabolica. Is this going to be P10 for the Russian driver? And no, it isn't. Lima is just going to hold on around the outside, but now will Kvyat try and get the slipstream? In fact, Lima's off. Lima's gone off. He's gone way off the track, and that's handed 10th position to Danny Kvyat on a silver plate, and that is a hefty error from Lima. He's dropped a place also to Latifi, and I think he might lose another place here for Max Verstappen. Verstappen, can he get through? He does indeed. So Lima has lost a load of places thanks to that costly mistake. As he's made contact with Verstappen. Verstappen goes straight on. Lima has gone for a spin, and he's now blocking the path for Max Chilton and Pascal Vernon, I believe that is, or that might be Marcus Harrison, and now he's got damage. Fabio Lima has got damage, and well, it's race ruin for him as far as he's concerned. Now we look at Stoffel Van Dorn. I'm losing my breath after all of that that's been going on here at Monza. I should really learn to get a drink during these races, but anyway, I'll press on. Anyway, Van Dorn now then on the back of Asuki Yoshida now then, as he makes his way into that second chicane, but it looks like the championship is slipping away now for the Belgian, but in a way he's really got nothing to lose really, because he will be moving up to FF1M next season, replacing Fernando Alonso at the main Willows Racing outfit, partnering alongside Nico Rosberg of course, so he will have a good teammate to learn upon. In fact, so will Gonzalez as well, having Fernando Alonso as a teammate at Tornado. So it will be very interesting to see. But now, meantime, Van Dorn trying to look on the inside of Yoshida. He tried to find a gap on the inside of the Japanese driver. It didn't quite work out. Yoshida just able to fend him off for the moment. Yoshida, another man who's also going up to FF1M next season as well. It'll be very interesting to see how he does as they make their way now then towards the Parabolica. And Charles Pick as well is also going up to FF1M next season. I should mention that as well. He's also going up to FF1M next season. So the top three in the championship are all moving up to FF1M next season. As now we make our way down towards the pit straight. Can Van Dorn take P6 now then off the Japanese driver? He's going to the inside. Can the Belgian get the move done on Yoshida? He's on the inside going into that first chicane now then. as this is going to be P6 now for Stoffel Vandoorne, and he takes the place with ease. So up into 6th place goes Stoffel Vandoorne. Now he'll go after Felipe Nasr, a man who his teammate Esteban Ocon had a lot of trouble getting by, as now Vandoorne on the inside of Nasr. Nasr doesn't think about going defensive into Ascari, so this should be an easy move for the Belgian, and it is. Up into P5 goes Stoffel Vandoorne there then. And that was a simple pass for the Belgian. Next target is his own teammate. Whether he'll catch him up in time with about 6 and a bit laps to go, we'll have to wait and see. As now we look at Nasr, who's now having to fend off from Shuki Yoshida. So Nasr is going backwards as we speak. The man who was on the podium a little bit early on, now dropping back in this latter part of the race. And Suzuki Yoshida makes his way up into 6th position, getting by on Felipe Nasr as they now make their way through the first Lesmo on the racetrack now then, with a 4 and a bit laps to go. And as we are now on the final lap of the race here at Monza, and here is your race leader, Thomas Gonzalez, and it's all looking good for him right now to become the champion of 2014. It has been an amazing year for Thomas Gonzalez. I don't think a lot of people expected him in his rookie year to make on quite an impression that he has, but he has done an absolutely superb job this season. Nobody could touch him throughout this season. He's just been so consistent throughout 2014, and with that, I think it's safe to say that he is a well-deserved champion and well-deserved of getting an FF1M drive next season with the main Tornado team. And the Spaniel is going to win the championship as long as he doesn't make any errors in this final few meters of the race, as he makes his way now then down towards the Ascari chicane now then for the final time today. And he'll wrap it up with 3 races to go this season. Of course, we'll have the sprint race tomorrow and then the final 2 races at the standalone race at Barcelona. But meantime, here comes the champion in waiting, Thomas Gonzalez, who's going to round the final corner. And it has been an amazing season for him and an amazing race for him as well, taking advantage of what happened with Vandoorne and Lee at the start. But he's come of age this season. Thomas Gonzalez is going to win the feature race here at Monza. And as a result, Thomas Gonzalez is your 2014 FF2M champion. He has done it. What an amazing season it has been for the Argentine, and a well-deserved championship for him indeed. Here is your final results then of the feature race. Thomas Gonzalez, the new champion, is your winner with Shell Pick in 2nd. Antonio Felix da Costa finishes in 3rd with Esteban Ocon 4th. Stoffel Vandoorne in 5th with Suzuki Yoshida in 6th. Felipe Nasr 7th with Gencho Chi rounding out the points in 8th. Max Verstappen, in fact, setting the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 28.89, so he will get the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, despite the fact that he did finish 10th in today's race. And now here is the championship standings, and as you can see, confirmation on your screens. Thomas Gonzalez is your champion. He is now 34 points clear of Shell Pick, 29 points left to fight for. Gonzalez is your champion. Pick moves up to 2nd ahead of Vandoorne, who drops to 3rd. Ocon in 4th. Lee in 5th with Yoshida in 6th. Antonio Felix da Costa 7th with Fabio Lima in 8th. Max Verstappen in 9th and Marcus Ericsson completing the top 10. In the Teams Championship, Spaniel lead by 31 points ahead of Willows. It's still quite open in that championship, but it looks likely that it will go the way of Spaniel within these last 3 races. Willows are in 2nd, Gajira in 3rd, Liquid Target 4th. So there you have it again, guys. That has been the feature race here at Monza, and congratulations again go to Thomas Gonzalez on winning the 2014 FF2M title.